everyone. Greetings. Glad you're here. I thought this Sunday, this is the last Sunday in our regular church calendar year. Next Sunday we'll begin Advent. It's the first Sunday in Advent. And I thought that before we actually start our series together, what we're going to do, I'd give you, we do like some introduction about what we're going to be doing together and how we're going to walk together these next few weeks as we get ready, as we prepare our hearts and our minds to receive the birth of baby Jesus. There's a movement within the Episcopal Church that you may have heard of or that you may know about. It's called the Way of Love, and it's the Episcopal Church's sort of Jesus movement. It was instituted by Bishop Michael Curry, and it's a way of love, exactly what it says it is. And this Advent, we're going to be doing their Advent version of it. So let me explain a little bit about what the Way of Love is and then what we're going to be doing together during Advent to prepare. So, let me just back up a bit because we really do have to talk a bit about this Advent as compared to other Advents. And I wrote this in a letter to the parish. I don't know if you feel this way, but with all that's been happening around us this year, does it feel like to you, as it does to me, that we're just waiting for something? The whole world is just waiting. Almost like the whole world has been holding its collective breath and for quite some time. I think this year, more than in years past, I get the feeling that we're all waiting for things, for cures, for answers, maybe for peace. And as we wish, as we wait, we hope. We hope that, all will be well, that this or that might change, that this might occur. But does it seem to you that all of our hopes sort of feel a bit like wishes? Like we're just blowing them out to a star or something and hoping for the best? We're waiting, for sure, we are. But in a world that can be chaotic, awfully chaotic, and this year, random, we really are at the mercy of the changes and the chances of this life. What we really can't know is what to expect, can't we? That's the word. We simply can't know what to expect in this world. But we know that there's another kind of hope. It's Christian hope. And it's far different from worldly hope, because this hope is actually rooted in something. It's rooted in all that we know to be true about Jesus and what he came to do out in the world. Because of the life of Jesus, we have hope, yes, but we also have something else. We have hope along with expectation. You see, this isn't a passive kind of waiting, Christian waiting. It's not wishing on a star. It's a waiting that's really active. You can think of it as being alive. It's like faith and belief just walking around out in the world, knowing that everything, whether it's seen or unseen, is in God's hands. So it's expectation, isn't it? Expectation changes everything. If you think about it, the earliest disciples in the days and the weeks and the months that followed Jesus' death, they must have lived in immediate expectation of Jesus coming back. He's coming back, they thought, right away. And so they lived in a manner that showed clearly that expectation in their daily lives, what they did every day. Their faith literally was alive. It just had been alive. And it dictated everything they did day by day. It was literally their rule of life, although I doubt they called it that. You know, Bishop Curry says it this way. He says, before the disciples were ever called Christians, they were just called followers. Followers of the way. And that way was Jesus's way. So just like this movement calls us back to that time. It's a Jesus movement for a reason. It's centered around living every day intentionally, around following Jesus's life, by putting what he did into our lives and living this way, living in expectation of the return of Jesus. And it follows a gentle rule of life. And it gives our daily lives a rhythm, sort of a pattern of living that really gives birth in us to Jesus. It calls into being the life of Jesus inside of our own lives. So we carry Jesus. We bear Jesus, if you will, as Mary bore Jesus. And we too then are going to give birth to new life. So each Sunday, starting next Sunday with Advent 1, we're going to be using the birth narratives from St. Luke's Gospel as a starting point for each reflection each day. These narratives are so familiar, they're so wonderful, and they're so familiar. But we're going to try to look at them in the light of this year. I'm going to post readings for each week if you'd like to read ahead, but we'll read it together too. And then we're going to talk a bit about what these amazing, miraculous events that surrounded the birth of Jesus mean to us today. So this Advent, we're going to read scripture together and reflect, and we're going to put this intentional way of living into our day-to-day life. Now, to help that, there are Advent calendars that actually go along with what we're doing. There's one here. They're based on the 7 sort of principles of the way of love, this way of following Jesus. So each day of the week will focus on one particular principle. I'll have calendars available at the church, but if you're not able to go to church now, it's fine. I've posted a link here at the bottom, and you can go to that link, print it off on your own. And each week as well, I'm going to be doing a video here. Bear with me. They're going to be short, 10 minutes or so. And they're going to be posted on the St. Luke's Good Book Club. And you can also go to YouTube on the St. Luke's church site. So if you know of other parishioners that want to join us, join in this fun, please let them know, and then let me know, and we will open the door to them. So what I'd like to do is go over these 7 principles, and they're the 7 principles we'll be following throughout the 4 weeks of Advent. So Sunday, the key word is worship. We gather in community weekly to thank and praise and dwell with God. But this is 2020. So a lot of us are not able to worship together. I want you to know that when I worship either at St. Luke's or here at home, I carry you all with me, and I bet we all do that to each other. So we're going to have to carry each other in our hearts. Monday, the key word is go. Cross boundaries, listen deeply, and live like Jesus. This is a time for you to maybe strike up a conversation at a grocery store, talk to a neighbor, do something you would never do for somebody, and just see what happens. Tuesday, the key word is learn. This is a day we give over to reflecting on scripture, especially on Jesus's life, so more New Testament. On Wednesday, the key word is pray, to dwell intentionally with God daily. Thursday, the key word is bless. And this is a day where we share our faith, our living faith, and give and serve. It's a day that we bless others and are blessed. On Friday, the key word is turn. We pause this day, we listen, and we choose again to follow Jesus in the week that'll follow. On Saturday, the key word is rest. It's to receive the gift of God's grace, fill ourselves up, and restore us to peace. Okay, I'm going to just say something here because I know myself. From experience, I know that sometimes following a daily plan doesn't always happen. It just doesn't happen. Not as we'd like it to. Again, no worries. This is not for that. This is for us to get the feeling of living like this in a rhythm, in a pattern that mimics Jesus's pattern. As you go through your week, though, if there's any aha moments, if there's a day that really strikes you or something you read or something you feel, please post it. It does sort of give us a chance to visit and to talk here on the Facebook site. I think if 2020 has taught us nothing else, it's taught us this. It's taught me this, and I bet you as well. You know, there was a really super good reason why Jesus wants us in community, wanted us in community, and wants us to stay in community. Because we do better together. And this way, maybe we can stay connected, even though we may be physically apart. So please share as we go along any thoughts you have, because I bet you, like me, we miss our face-to-face conversations. So, this is how we'll celebrate Advent together at St. Luke's. Advent, the coming. Something new is coming into the world. Usually we're going to end with a prayer and begin with a prayer, but today, I'd like to just take this snippet from the beginning of St. John's Gospel, which I do dearly love, and let this be our ending. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Bless you all this day, and I'll see you next week.